All right, so I'll take over with the next question. Throughout this event, there's been a theme where we've talked about comfort zones, right? And we've talked about the fact that everything in life is essentially, all the good stuff is right outside of your comfort zone. It's right outside of you taking a leap of faith and you trusting yourself and really expanding your comfort zone. And I would have a hallucination that these guys aren't necessarily any different. They're human beings at the end of the day, right? So just in a couple of minutes, when you invest in yourself and you've taken certain action steps in your marketing, were you uncomfortable? And then how were you able to overcome that, feeling of discomfort and take the leap of faith anyway that so many people don't take, which ends up with them not creating their breakthrough they're looking for?
I was scared as shit. That's just something I've never, ever actually done before. And, I was trying to think about the amount of money that it takes to run such a business. But you have to treat it like a business, right? And that's what I thought about. And so I looked at Rich, and we had a conversation. And we said, baby, how are we really going to do this? And then we said, the question is not how, is what do we need to do to make it happen? And so when we did, we rolled every cent that we earned right back into our business. That was what we meant by going all in. And when that ticker went from $42,000 to zero, that's when we were looking at each other like, we can make it back again. Because we believed in ourselves and we knew what we were capable of. And that's the way you got to look at it. When you get uncomfortable, don't look at the odds against you. Don't look at what's in front of you. Look at the possibilities of what you can do, what you're capable of. Okay?
How am I going to top that one? All right.
You guys are so cute.
Okay. So, like I said, you guys know I had a mindset issue about it and everything. And we were very scared. Because I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. I mean, how are we going to do it, And what Misha said just now, and it hits me over and over, because it's hitting me right now when he said that. It's always waiting outside your comfort zone. And being uncomfortable, I realize that it's a great thing. And I don't want to get all sad here and everything, but I just lost my dad not so long ago. You guys probably know about that. When I saw my dad laying there, I realized you can't take it with you. You can't. So why not? Why not be uncomfortable and live a great life and not worry about the small things anymore, the things that keep us stuck? Because I knew that if I didn't make that decision with her and say, you know what, we're not going to do it, there would be no way we'd be in this position right now. There's no way. And that's the God honest truth. So, all I can tell you is, when you learn to invest more in yourself, like I said in that presentation, you'll take it a lot more seriously. And that's the other side of your comfort zone.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I had actually previously invested in another opportunity, and that was to the tune of around $8,000. And I didn't get really any value out of that whatsoever. As I said in my presentation, I got more value out of the first 3 modules of the Super Affiliate Network Bootcamp. So yeah, parting with a substantial even amount of more cash, to go all in, there was resistance, but I'd been through the boot camp. I'd learned more than what was waiting on the other side of going all in. It just blows your mind, guys. It's just going to take you to the very next level. Yes, it was uncomfortable. Yes, I did feel resistance because I could have had a few holidays with that money. But as Rich just said, it's an investment in yourself, in your future. There's going to be plenty more holidays after that. So, it was just a no-brainer, really, once I kind of worked through the discomfort, shall I say.
Awesome. There's a quote that says, a comfort zone is a beautiful place,
but nothing grows there. And so at every point, for me personally, when I get to a place where I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable, then it's like, I got to figure out what do I have to do to get uncomfortable. Because I'm not where I want to be, totally. So that means that there has to be something I have to do. So investing it's always uncomfortable. Like, I don't know when it's not uncomfortable, because the higher you go, the more you have to invest. The more, I was talking to my team at lunch and said, honestly, people can go pro and they just kind of play around still. And, you have to, be all in your business, and you start to think about things. Okay, what am I going to do? The reason why, I started like the Thursday nights and things like that I've done is because I got uncomfortable, right? And then I started to create, and I started to think about, okay, so what can I do now? Because this is a business. So what can I do and stuff? And, I have my husband, he's very supportive of, me and my entrepreneur endeavors. But I still, think about, okay, if you do this, if you invest, you got to think about, okay, I think about my husband, and like, you better get your butt up. Like I said, I have to talk to myself and say, okay, let's get the work done, because it works. I mean, if it worked for Ace and Rich, it worked for Misha, it worked for Dan, Jason, it's work. So the system is not going to break because you got started.
Or it better not.
Hello, somebody.
Hope not.
Right?
All right.
You see what I'm saying? So but I did send Misha a message one time. I was like, listen, I need you to hire more coaches because I'm getting ready to go. Right, but but a lot of times we figure, we see, the top, income earners and stuff in systems, and then we figure like, we talk ourselves out of really going all in because we figure, it's not going to work for me. It worked for them, but it's not going to work for me. And it's all about your belief system. Really, it's all about believing that you can do it. It doesn't matter how many people, come into the system. I saw some huge names, come into the system. It didn't bother me because I was like, it's still a whole bunch of people to impact. The system, there's a ton of folks here, and so I just have to wake up every day and show up for my business and, do what it is I say I'm going to do, stay persistent and consistent, and I'm going to win. Period, space. So, yeah. It's not going to break because I'm here.
Yeah, I was absolutely uncomfortable when I was fortunate enough to go to the first Maui intensive mentorship event in Maui itself, and that's when I met Misha for the first time in person. We had obviously already had a relationship before then. I was a coach already for the system, but because I pushed myself to go to that event, we maxed out our credit cards to go there. We're completely strapped with money. We're at that pit that I was talking about yesterday with our business and all that stuff. But if I didn't push myself and really just went on the whim and, just got to that event, the skill sets and just being in that room with these guys, with these two awesome dudes, and the things that I learnt there, it just really paid off tenfold, And it's a funny thing. Comfort zones are a funny thing. Every time I've pushed myself and got myself out of that comfort zone and faced fear in the face, so to speak, and just pushed forward and just told my mind that it's all in here, it's all BS, that fear thing, I came out the other end alive and better than I was before, contemplating, should I be doing that thing? And just to make an example real quick, I told you that we're moving up to the beach and all that. So we've got no family up there. We've got 2 little kids. We've got babysitters whenever we want them where we are now. We've got all our family with us. But again, it's another comfort zone thing. We're pushing ourselves to get out of that limit because we want to live near the beach, but we're going to have nobody that we know there. But we know everything's going to be sweet, right? And it is a little bit fearful and exciting at the same time. But yeah, so absolutely.